Okay, I'm gonna say something, but I'm so furious. I am waiting for the main character to literally burn this entire country to the ground. So he's 15 at the time of this story starts. He's like 15 years old. He's been in prison and being tortured and being forced to make a confession where his father betrayed their country because his father was leading the military and basically left 3 cities to fall into the grasp of the enemy. And so his father has been written off as a traitor, and his father already killed himself, and the rest of his family is dead. The main character is the only survivor. And you know what? They decide to take the main character, torture him, and imprison him to get him to confess his father's deeds. And he keeps telling them, hey, that no, my father is not a traitor. My father did not do these crimes. And if he did, I was not involved. And they keep calling him a liar. And I'm like, waiting for the day he burns this country to the ground. Okay, I'm waiting for that day. Like, I am waiting for it. Also, this is the first moment the main character meets the male lead. And the male lead kicks the main character so hard, it should have killed the main character. Or would have taken a bit for the main character to die in horrible pain. And I'm like, I can't wait for you to climb the Quinterium. I can't wait. Because you literally kicked this man for what his father did. Like, I can't wait for you to climb the Quinterium. I can tell you something. What disgusts me and angers me is the fact that the main character, one, is a 15-year-old boy and they wanted to flog him to death. The emperor ordered for this 15-year-old child to be flogged to death so he could take the punishment as his father because he still refused to admit to his father's crimes. And refused to take the punishment of his father. Like, why force a 15-year-old child they know has basically no connections to his father, was a child of a concubine, a woman who was even barely a concubine, more like a dancer. And, like, the main character gets ridiculed for who his mother was by several other characters throughout the story. And it angers me. Like, fuck off all of you. They literally were going to flog this 15-year-old child to death. But if the Empress Dahlgren hadn't stepped in, the main character would have died from a flogging. Like, it angers me. So yeah, the main character could have died. Luckily, thanks to the years of martial training that he had, thanks to his adopted father, he survived the flogging and the kick from the male lead. He also survived because of medicine was gifted to him by his adopted father and a guard who used to work for his father. Yeah, they help give the main character medicine, and sooner or later the main character moves from his prison to the temple, and there he stays for 5 years. 5 years he stays in a temple where he meets the Grand Mentor, and together he, his adopted father, and the Grand Mentor works together to plot. Yeah. And I went, can't wait for the main character to get his revenge on this entire country and give them the punishments they all fucking deserve. The male lead goes to the temple, has the guards guarding the temple drag the main character out so the main character could sing for him, and the main character refuses to sing for him. So he has the main character perform something else for him, and like, again, it's not going like how he wants it to go. So he decides to physically assault the main character, and the main character is not taking a beating from him and physically fights back. The main character full on thinks the male lead is there to try to kill him. And they fight. And in the struggle, the main character is able to steal the male lead's ring from him, which is used for, like, bows and arrows, if I'm correct. He stole that ring from the male lead, and the male lead was only able to get out of the fight and not get any severe punishment because his elder brother arrived and dragged his ass out of there. So the ex-godson eunuch of the director of rites, he stole a beauty from underneath the prince's eyes, a prince that's under the male lead's protection. This prince had his eyes on this beauty, and then it was stolen right from in front of him before he was able to bring the girl home, and gifted this girl to the director of rite, his godfather. This displeased the prince, so he colluded with the male lead, and an important banquet, he'd get this eunuch alone, and they would, specifically him, beat the eunuch. And when he left the eunuch barely alive, it was discovered later that the eunuch was found drowned. But then they also concluded that the eunuch had been beaten. And the prince is like, hey, I did not kill him. Like, I left him alive. And Melite's like, I know. Someone must have gotten hold of him after you left him. And like, both the director of Right and the main character's adopted uncle, which this dude doesn't realize the main character is his adopted nephew, because even if he did know, he had a terrible relationship with the main character's adopted father. So it wouldn't have been good anyways. They don't have a good relationship anyways, if he knew. Yeah, they're plotting something against the Melide and the prince. They kind of want to get rid of the prince, typically. And the Melide's like, oh, I'll protect you. I'll stand up for you. So he states he beat the eunuch, but he also states that the eunuch was still alive when he beat him. He also states that the eunuch, the reason why he beat the eunuch was because the eunuch got in his way. Like, his carriage got in the Melide's way, and he refused to move for the Melide. Was acting like he had the position of director of Right instead of just the lonely eunuch that he was. Yeah, it was messy. Then they drag the main character into it. And the main character has been in the temple. 5 years has passed. The main character's been in the temple for 5 years. They drag the main character in it because the main character's adopted father was found near the location the eunuch's body was found. They drag both of them there to start questioning them, which I'm wondering why no one recognizes the main character's adopted father, but he's also been away, been exiled for almost 20 years, I guess. That's how long I think the story stated he was exiled. But yeah, they're questioning the main character, and the main character's like, yeah, I sent my servant. He's stating his adopted father is his servant. He sent the man to go get medicine for him. Like, they grew plants and stuff to gain coins, and they were going to use the coins to plead to the eunuch to find a way to get medicine for the main character. Because, yes, they send food to the main character, but they do not send him medicine while he's imprisoned in the temple. And he badly needs medicine because he's really sick. And his adopted father was there, quote unquote, his servant was there because that's where the eunuch had told his adopted father to meet up with him, because his adopted father met up with the eunuch before. The eunuch told him, hey, meet me here with the coins and I'll give you the medicine. Which the Melide's full on suspicious. He does not trust what the main character's saying, which, if I can tell, the main character was the one. Well, they didn't kill the eunuch, but what I can tell, the main character was going to get rid of the eunuch, but someone already got there before they did.